I got lost on my way out here. I'll share that story with you in a little bit. But I'm glad to be at the cabin. Fire's going. I have to get the sled unloaded so I can bring over more firewood and load up the cabin. This firewood was supposed to be brought into the cabin on my last visit to warm up and dry, but I never had a chance, so I'm doing it now. Oh, looks like my splitting stump has had it. It's going to be firewood now. I really don't like having things on the window. I like to be able to see what's going on outside. But to keep the cabin as warm as possible tonight, I'm putting my window covers back on. This heavy fabric here will be too close to the wood stove to have this on the inside. That's why I have to put it on the outside. I like to see that monster get in tonight. This is the other half of the dead standing tree I cut down on my last trip. I'm working on getting it to the cabin. Yeah, those window coverings really make a difference. And it blocks out the wind noise as well. I also have another covering for the door, but I couldn't find it, so I just put this blanket on.
Thursday, periods of snow ending in the morning, then clearing. Wind northwest 30 kilometers per hour, gusting to 50, becoming light in the afternoon. Temperature falling to -24 in the afternoon. Wind chill near -35. Risk of frostbite. Thursday night, 8U clouds. Wind up to 15 kilometers per hour. Low -29. Wind chill -32 in the evening and -38 overnight. Risk of frostbite. Friday, cloudy with 60% chance of flurries. High -20.
Well, now that I'm all settled in, I can share my story with you. I got lost on my way to the cabin. Before I start the story, I want to say that if I didn't have to worry about people finding my cabin and breaking in like I've had problems with before, I would have a nice, wide, clear trail marked with orange marker tape all the way down both sides. But I can't do that. I have to have a really stealth trail. So my wife dropped me off. It's about a 45-minute trek to the cabin. And I walked into the bush. It's really thick. And I'm walking in there and I just couldn't find my trail. I kept running into these walls of dead fallen trees. It's really thick carragana bushes. And the poplar trees kind of fall halfway. And it just forms a wall. So I kept backtracking, trying to find my trail, couldn't find it. Then I looked down and I see my tracks in the snow. And I thought they were my tracks from my last visit, which doesn't make any sense, but at the time it... And so I started following these trails, my tracks, walking through the woods, and I realized that they're the tracks I had just left. And I was walking in circles. I actually started to panic a little bit. You know, I've been doing this for a long time. It's not the first time I've been lost, but I was getting pretty scared, panicking. I was plowing through areas I've never been before, trying to get through this thick bush. My parka and my backpack's getting snagged on everything. And you have to remember, I'm wearing my heavy duty Helly Hansen bib coveralls and my parka, so it's really cumbersome. And I just kept looking around. I knew that I had to go north, so that helped me a lot. And eventually I found an opening that looked familiar, and then I realized I was on my trail. Once I was on my trail, there's no problem getting here. I've come here 100 times, but you know what it's like in the woods at night. Everything looks the same. And I overexerted myself so much that by the time I got to the cabin, I was just soaking. So I have to strip down to my base layer, hang everything up, dry it off before I go to bed. Good morning. 8 o'clock. Still dark out. Just been walking around scouting for more firewood. There's a couple of dead standing trees over here, but I just have nowhere to drop them without them getting hung up. And one of them is a little bit big in diameter. I don't want anything more than 6 inches because I'm really having a tough time cutting horizontally like that, sideways. Just not good for my back, whether it's sawing or chopping. It is supposed to be minus 30 tonight with a wind chill of minus 38. So I won't be around for that. It's actually supposed to be minus 45 wind chill, but the forecast changed. Just feel like hanging out in the cabin and taking her easy today. Well, I just came in from outside. It's out there for maybe 5 minutes and my fingers are just frozen. It is bitterly cold out there. The wind's picking up. It's snowing. Really high wind chill. And because I'm in a valley, I don't get as much wind down here, but you can really see the treetops blowing. And it's snowing. I can just imagine what the roads are like. I know some people say, well, wind chill doesn't count. Well, I say it does. I worked many a day, thousands and thousands of hours outside, freezing my fingers off. You know, I was just thinking, I hope my wife can pick me up tonight. I was supposed to pick me up in about 3.5 hours. I have no idea what it's like outside this valley. And I really don't want to spend another night. I had my share of the cold. I'm good. And I also don't want to burn up all the firewood I just cut up. Oh, that water feels good, nice and hot. My little cutting board. You know, sometimes I kind of like doing the dishes out here. I don't know why. My feet are starting to get a little bit cold, so I'm just warming up my socks. This is the area that I got lost in last night. Very thick, and it's just so confusing. And there's the chalk that I put on the back side of the trees, because it's usually on the way back that I have trouble. And that's what I mean by the wall of dead poplar fell over, and it kind of doesn't fall all the way down. It gets hung up on all those carragana bushes, and there's no way you can get through that. All right, camera's going off. Thanks for watching.